Alright, so here's the thing. A video just leaked online that's either going to change pocket cameras forever, or it's the most convincing AI fake I've ever seen. And honestly, I can't tell which one scares me more. Because if this DJI Pocket 4 is real, and I'm about to show you why I think it is, then we're looking at the biggest leap in mobile filmmaking since, well, ever. But here's the kicker. You might not even be able to buy it. Stay with me, because this gets wild, and I've got receipts. Plus, there's another device that just came out of nowhere, and it's making DJI absolutely lose their minds. But first, let's talk about what everyone's buzzing about, why this matters now. So, why am I making this video right now? Why does this matter today? Well, DJI is racing against the clock. We're talking about a potential product launch that needs to happen before December 23, 2025, because that's when the FCC ban on DJI products could take effect. Yeah, you heard that right. There's a very real chance that DJI products might become unavailable in the US market, and that's creating this insane pressure cooker situation. DJI knows they need to get the Pocket 4 into people's hands before that deadline hits, which means we could see an announcement literally any day now. And look, I've been covering tech launches for years, and I've never seen this kind of urgency before. The leaked footage, the FCC filings, the whispers from insiders, everything's pointing to something massive happening in the next few weeks. And if you're a creator, a vlogger, or someone who just wants to capture incredible moments without lugging around heavy gear, you need to pay attention right now, because this tiny device might be the last DJI innovation we see for a while. Pocket 4 breakdown. Okay, so what makes the Pocket 4 so special? Let's cut through the marketing fluff and talk about what actually matters. First up, we're getting a dual sensor system. Now, I know what you're thinking. 2 sensors? Why do I care? Here's why. The main sensor is rumored to be a 1-inch sensor with around 50 megapixels. To put that in perspective, that's the same sensor size you'd find in cameras that cost over $2,000. But here's where it gets interesting. That second sensor, it's rumored to be square, not rectangular like every other camera sensor you've ever used. Square. And this is genius because think about how you actually create content today. You're shooting for YouTube, which is horizontal, but you're also shooting for Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, which are all vertical. With a traditional rectangular sensor, when you flip to vertical mode, you're cropping your footage and losing quality. The Pocket 3 drops you down to 3K resolution in vertical mode. But with a square sensor, you could shoot true 4K vertical content without compromising anything. That's a game changer for anyone creating social media content, which, let's be honest, is basically everyone now. And it's not just about the sensors. DJI is introducing what they're calling a 4-axis magnetic levitation gimbal. Now, I'm going to translate that from tech speak to human speak. Basically, instead of mechanical parts that can wear out, this thing uses magnets to keep your camera stable. It's smoother, it's more precise, and combined with their AI prediction algorithm, it means you can run, jump, spin around, and your footage will look like it was shot on a professional stabilizer rig. I tested the Pocket 3 last year, and the stabilization was already incredible. If this is even 30% better, we're talking about Hollywood-level smoothness in a device that fits in your pocket. The battery is jumping from 1,300 milliamp hours to 1,545. That might sound like boring technical stuff, but that translates to about 30 to 40 extra minutes of recording time. For vloggers shooting all day, that's huge. Evolution story. Let me take you on a quick journey through DJI's Pocket lineup, because understanding where we've been makes it so much clearer why the Pocket 4 is such a massive deal. The Pocket 2 launched with a tiny 1-inch LCD touchscreen. It was cute. It was portable. But honestly, framing your shots on that screen was like trying to watch a movie on a smartwatch. You could do it, but why would you want to? It had a 1 to 1.7-inch sensor that captured 16 megapixels for standard photos, or 64 megapixels using a high-resolution mode, and it shot 4K video at 60 frames per second. It was a solid entry-level device, perfect for casual creators just getting started. Then came the Pocket 3, and this was a real upgrade. DJI added a 2-inch OLED rotating touchscreen on this thing, which completely changed the game. Suddenly, you could actually see what you were filming. The sensor jumped up to a full 1-inch, and while the megapixels dropped to around 9 megapixels, don't let that fool you, because bigger sensor pixels mean better low-light performance and more dynamic range. It could shoot 4K at 120 frames per second, which opened up beautiful slow-motion possibilities. The price jumped to $519 for the standard version and $1,669 for the creator combo. But for most creators, it was absolutely worth it. The Pocket 3 became the go-to device for travel vloggers, and I saw it everywhere. Every festival, every travel destination, every creator event. Now the Pocket 4 is taking everything we loved about the Pocket 3 and basically saying, What if we went absolutely crazy? We're potentially looking at 8K video recording capability based on rumors. That's 4 times the resolution of 4K. The main sensor is 50 megapixels, with that secondary sensor adding incredible flexibility. That 4-axis levitation gimbal I mentioned. And the price? This is where it gets interesting. Leaks are suggesting anywhere from $699 to $799. Now, is that expensive? Compared to the Pocket 3's launch price of $599, yes. Compared to what you'd pay for a mirrorless camera with similar specs, it's an absolute steal. You're getting professional-grade video quality in something that weighs less than your phone. The plot twist. So while everyone's been obsessing over the Pocket 4, there's this other device that's been going viral, and DJI is definitely paying attention. It's called the Antigravity A1, and it's not just another drone. It's a completely different philosophy on what a flying camera should be. Here's the concept, and this is where it gets really interesting. Instead of flying a drone and worrying about where the camera is pointing, what if the drone just captured everything? 360 degrees, all around, 8K resolution at 30 frames per second. You fly it, it records everything, and then in editing, you just pick which angle you want. Want to look forward? Done. Want to see yourself flying the drone? Easy. Want a sweeping side angle that would normally require perfect timing? No problem, because it was already recording in that direction. I know what you're thinking. 360 cameras have been around forever. You're right, but not on a drone that's this small, this stable, and this easy to fly. The A1 has completely eliminated the hardest part of drone cinematography, which is framing your shot while simultaneously piloting. Beginners are getting footage that looks like it was shot by professionals. FPV pilots are getting FPV-style dynamic shots without needing FPV skills. Travel creators are shooting once and getting both their horizontal and vertical content from the same flight. The landing gear is retractable, so in the air, you get a completely unobstructed 360-degree view with no legs or props in the shot. Now, it's not perfect. The battery life is pretty average, especially compared to DJI's mini-series. And here's the big one. 8K 360 footage is massive. We're talking about files that'll require solid computer processing power. You need serious processing power to edit this stuff, and the stitching software, while good, sometimes creates weird artifacts on water, trees, or objects that get too close to the drone. If you want that beautiful cinematic shallow depth of field look straight out of camera, a traditional drone with a proper cinema camera is still going to beat this. But for creative freedom, for getting shots that would be impossible otherwise, for never missing a moment because you had the camera pointed the wrong direction, the Antigravity A1 is absolutely game-changing, and the online reactions prove it. People are calling it a cheat code. And honestly, that's exactly what it feels like. The showdown here's where things get spicy. Leaks have confirmed that DJI is working on the Avata 360, which is basically their answer to the Antigravity A1. And this is fascinating because it shows how seriously DJI is taking this new category. But here's the key difference, and this is important. The Antigravity A1 is essentially a 360 camera that happens to fly. It's built from the ground up around that capture everything philosophy. The DJI Avata 360, based on what we're hearing, appears to be an FPV drone that's adding 360 capability. That's a fundamentally different approach, and it means the flying experience is going to feel completely different. The A1 is calm, smooth, automatic. You can hand it to someone who's never flown a drone before, and they'll get incredible footage. The Avata 360 will likely be faster, more manual, more aggressive. It'll probably have better battery life because DJI is ridiculously good at power management. It'll definitely have better integration with their existing ecosystem. If you already own DJI goggles, controllers, accessories, the Avata 360 will probably work with all of that. And knowing DJI's track record, the stitching software will probably be more polished, the flight stability will be legendary, and the overall build quality will be rock solid. But the Antigravity A1 has something that's really hard to quantify, and that's the feeling of creative liberation. Every review I've read, every reaction video I've watched, people keep using words like freeing and game-changing. It's opened up possibilities that people didn't even know they wanted. That first-mover advantage is real. They've defined what this category should feel like. Now DJI has to catch up while also not alienating their core FPV user base who wants speed and control. So which one should you get? Well, that's going to depend entirely on your style. If you want something that just works, that removes the technical barrier, and lets you focus on creativity, the Antigravity A1 is incredible. It launched in December 2025 and is available now starting at $1,599. If you want the reliability, the ecosystem, the proven track record of DJI, and you're willing to wait, the Avata 360 could be the smarter play. If you want speed, manual control, and that classic FPV energy, definitely wait for the Avata. But if you're shooting content for social media, if you need multiple angles from every flight, if you've been intimidated by drones in the past, the A1 might be exactly what you've been waiting for. The verdict. So here's my take after diving deep into all of this. We're watching two simultaneous revolutions happen in real time. The Pocket 4 represents the evolution of handheld gimbal cameras reaching their final form. Professional quality, incredible stabilization, social media-ready features, all in a device smaller than a water bottle. And the anti-gravity one, with DJI's Avata 360 hot on its heels, represents a completely new category of capture device that prioritizes creative freedom over technical mastery. The tragedy here is that FCC ban looming over DJI. If that goes through, US creators might be locked out of what could be the best pocket camera ever made. That's why the timing of this video matters. If you're interested in the Pocket 4, you need to be ready to act fast. Follow DJI's social channels, set up alerts, because when this drops, it could sell out instantly and then become unavailable. As for the drone situation, my recommendation is simple. If you need a 360 drone right now and the creative freedom appeals to you, get the Antigravity A1. It's available, it works, and it's genuinely revolutionary. But if you can wait, if you want the DJI polish and reliability, keep your eyes on that Avata 360 announcement because it's coming soon, and the competition between these two is going to benefit all of us. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you Team Pocket 4 or Team Pocket 3? Are you excited about 360 drones, or do you prefer traditional flying cameras? Drop a comment below because I read every single one, and your input actually helps me decide what videos to make next. If you found this breakdown helpful, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the algorithm show this video to more creators who need to see it. And if you want to stay updated on the exact moment the Pocket 4 launches, on the Avata 360 announcement, and on any breaking news in the creator tech space, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've got some exclusive hands-on footage coming soon that you're not going to want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.